The situation is mostly calm. However, there were some reports of violations from both sides, accusing each other. Turkey's defense ministry has accused the YPG of violating the agreement 36 times since it was signed on October 17th. However, the withdrawal is still continuing smoothly. Turkey's defense ministry has also stated that 125 vehicles have exited the region safely. There was another major development on Monday as U.S. forces crossed from Syria into Iraq. Some of these forces were pelted with potatoes by some of the Kurdish people in that area. Now, the Syrian Kurdish group, the YPG, says that the United States abandoned them during the Turkish offensive, so they're very frustrated. In the meantime, there was a statement made by U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who has stated that some of these forces, some U.S. forces, would still stay in the region. Let's listen.
Our forces will remain in the towns that are located near the oil fields. The purpose of those forces, working with the SDF, is to deny access to those oil fields by ISIS and others who may benefit from their revenues that could be earned.
Now, when the United States decided to pull out its troops from that region, the YPG was left with no protection. That's when it decided to sign a deal with the Syrian government, and that led to the Syrian army being deployed to key areas such as Manbij and Kobani, which they hadn't had control over since 2012. So Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan, who's going to be heading to Russia to meet with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, is going to be discussing the fate of these key towns such as Manbij and Kobani, where now the Syrian army is deployed. So that meeting on Tuesday is going to be very significant. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov has stated that they also encourage dialogue. Let's listen.
Dialogue between the Kurds and Damascus is needed, and we are ready to encourage this dialogue. Both sides express their interest in Russia's help in this process. And of course, dialogue between Turkey and the Syrian Arab Republic is also needed, where we are also ready to play a supportive role to encourage such direct contacts.
So Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan is now expected to ask Russia's support for the withdrawal of the YPG from these key areas such as Manbij and Kobani on Tuesday. And Erdogan has stated that he has no issues with the Syrian army being deployed there at this moment. I'm Khalid for CGTN in Şanlıurfa for Turkey.